Hello and welcome to this recording from Support Cambridgeshire, a partnership of Cambridge CVS and Hunts Forum. This recording is one of several we've developed to help people set up their own community group. We've made this recording for people who are considering setting up a formal group to benefit others in their local community, or who may be already set up and want to amend their governing document. This recording summarises what you need to consider, and we would recommend getting in touch with us to have a chat about what you want to do. There are links to useful information to support you alongside our guidance recordings. Your governing document acts as the charity's rulebook and should specify the rights and obligations of the charity's trustees and any members. It also includes guidance on the way in which the charity can act, helping to ensure that its activities are aimed at benefiting the public and stay charitable. Most charities are regulated by the Charity Commission, and it's highly recommended that you use their model documents when creating your own. And there are links to this information alongside this recording. Occasionally, an existing registered charity may be unable to find the latest version of its governing document, and they can submit an inquiry form to the Charity Commission to obtain a copy. Charitable governing documents are usually known as constitutions, and the Charity Commission offer templates to meet the needs of the different charitable structures. If your group is also registered with Companies House as a charitable company, its governing document will be called a Memorandum and Articles of Association. See recording 3 in our series if you want to know more about how charities can be structured. A charity governing document should cover a number of things. The name of your charity and any other names it might also be known as, the purposes you're set up to deliver. These are one or more of the 13 charitable purposes outlined in charity law, and they're described as objects when you write them into your document. You can find out more about these in recording 2 of this series. The charity's income and property must be applied only for the purposes set out in the governing document. The document will also cover who you will benefit, which might be defined by particular characteristics or geography or both. How you'll operate. If you follow the Charity Commission template, it will require you to make some decisions about the numbers of trustees you have and how many need to be present at a meeting to make a decision. You'll also need to decide how often you'll have meetings and if you'll have remote or face-to-face meetings. Most charities have a minimum of 2 to 3 trustees and will require at least 2 to be present to make any decisions. If you're hoping to get some grant funding, you may find funders will specify how many trustees, who are not related to each other, should be present to make a decision. This is also known as being quorate. It's worth checking what your potential grant funders' rules are on this. The dissolution or wind-up clause covers how you'll distribute any remaining assets in the event of your charity closing. This stipulates that any assets remaining after liabilities have been met will be distributed to another charity, usually one with a similar mission or location. The Charity Commission templates ask you to fill in your charitable objects, and this is discussed in more detail in part 2 of our recordings. If you are an unregistered charity or association, and if you're confident your annual turnover will stay below £5,000 per annum, the wording you use in your objects clause will not be scrutinised by the Charity Commission, although it may be seen by supporters and potential funders, so it should still be a good reflection of what your group aims to do, where, for who and how. The example of a charitable object shown on the slide is provided by the Charity Commission, and links to more guidance can be found in the information available alongside this recording. The Charity Commission provides examples of charitable objects on its website. If one of these describes the aims of your own charity, you can copy it. Your charity registration will take less time if you can use one of these example objects without alteration. Another tip is to look at other recently set up charities with a mission and activities similar to yours, and use that as the basis to create your wording. You must write your charitable objects correctly, or when you try to register your charity with the Charity Commission, your application may be rejected. Having completed your document, the next step is for the trustees to sign the document and minute their agreement to adopting the governing document. If you have an income of under £5,000 and are an unregistered charity or charitable association, you don't need to send your document anywhere else. Charities registered with a regulator will need to submit their governing document to that regulator. At some point, you may need to amend your governing document, for example, to keep pace of changes in the law or to enable you to operate more efficiently. An example of this would be charities established before the use of virtual meetings became commonplace, whose trustees want to be able to meet online but don't have provision for it in their governing document. Your governing document should outline how you go about making necessary alterations. For administrative changes, such as being able to meet online as a trustee group, this typically involves creating a resolution outlining the desired change and sending this to the members of the charity who have voting rights. This is not always just the trustees, it will depend on your structure. Voting members then meet to vote on whether to accept the change. You should inform your regulator of changes to your governing document as soon as possible, and Companies House stipulate that this should happen within 15 days. Regulated changes are those such as changes to the charity's objects, trustee benefits and the winding up clause, and these need more consideration and may require the prior consent of the Charity Commission. We'll look at this in more detail in the next couple of slides. If your governing document does not stipulate how you make alterations, the Charity Commission provide guidance on how to go about it. Incorporated charities, including charitable incorporated organisations and charitable companies, need the prior permission of the Charity Commission when they want to make regulated changes to their governing document. This includes changes to charitable objects, the wind-up or dissolution clause, and trustee benefits. The 2022 Charity Act will amend some of the rules on how charities can amend their governing documents, but the amendments related to this topic won't be implemented until autumn 2023. Unincorporated charities include registered charities and charitable trusts. At present, small charities with incomes of less than £10,000 per annum do not need the prior consent of the Charity Commission to change their charitable objects. However, this is set to change in autumn 2023, when the new rules will make it easier for large unincorporated charities to make changes, but harder for these smaller charities. Please note there are different rules for making changes to the governing documents of charities governed by Royal Charter and Acts of Parliament. We hope you found this recording helpful. Please take a look at the other recordings we've made in this series on setting up a community group. And to get more help and support, contact us on info@supportcambridgeshire.org.uk.